Greetings one and all, this is Rhythm Works and welcome to my channel. With an almighty headache and a spent brain. What you talking about, Rhythm? I'm going to tell you. I had a good recording session yesterday. The difference between my normal recording sessions and the session that I had yesterday is simply this. When I have a recording session, I usually record one track at a time. If I'm doing vocals, it's one track at a time. If it's me balancing a mix, it's one track at a time. But on this occasion, as I stated before, I had my guitarist come in and play on 10 tracks. Now there are some tracks where you can play an 8-bar and cut and paste. But such is the stature of my brethren, Remy, who I've known for 34 years. He felt the need to play right down the track. Well, most of the tracks. And for those tracks that I didn't really mind cutting and pasting, I would tell him. But for the most part, it was like a straight through run down the track kind of vibe. And multiply that by 10, and with the melodies that I wanted him to play, and the feel that I wanted him to play, and the sounds that I wanted him to play with. That's a whole lot of work, mental work right there. Do you know what I mean? You know, his playing is unbelievably sound and fluid and crisp. But at the same time, he doesn't know what I want as a producer. And my role as a producer is to actually fine tune what I hear and him to enhance what I hear with what he plays. So I just want to take the time and big up Remy for playing on 10 wonderful tracks. That is going to be a debut album from my backing singer, Lynn, who's a really good singer-songwriter, and I'm really excited about the project. I don't really get excited about much projects, but when it involves someone who is a really good songwriter and a really good singer, and of course a really good friend, then, you know, my excitement is justified. And I hope that you will enjoy hearing the album once it's released. Her album is called Debut, and it will be released in the first quarter of 2017. Now, with Remy as a gamer, because he noticed me editing a video when he came in, and we were just talking about gaming for a few minutes, and he was saying that he's looking to get the Xbox One because he still plays on Xbox 360. So I suggested to him, well, just wait until the Scorpio comes out, or dare I say it, invest in a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 4 Pro. But Remy is one of these type of gamers. He's from a bygone age where he doesn't buy games day one. He's not a day one gamer whatsoever. He will buy games at a price drop. He would rather spend his hard earned on guitars and amps and strings and stands and amplifiers and music production equipment. Fair play, you know what I mean? You know, he's been doing it for as long as I've been doing it, you know, so that's where his primary investments lie. But he's not a day one gamer at all, you know. He still plays on Xbox 360, but he's looking to upgrade. And to be totally honest, I was kind of jealous of him with that thinking, because, you know, once he starts getting into Xbox One or PlayStation 4 Pro or even the Xbox Scorpio, he's just gonna have a wealth of games to choose from already, you know. The sad thing with me is that I like to consider myself an early adopter of things that I think will accompany my gaming needs suitably. But with Remy, it's not like that at all. But I'm trying to convince him to at least get a PS4 Pro. You know, he hasn't got the full setup, but he says that he's going to weigh up his options. But anyway, just picking up Remy as a guitarist and as an old school gamer, because he's proper old school. And I also want to pick up Trix Anthony, who played horns on the album as well. He played on around 6 tracks out of the 10 tracks, and phenomenal trumpeter. His brother plays trombone, he plays trumpet, and they both used to make up the Matic horns, the premier horn section to come out of the UK. Their discography, the amount of stuff they've played on and the bands they've played on, is just a who's who. The most famous band they've played with was UB40. They played with UB40 and toured with UB40 extensively until the Promises and Lies album, and that's when they broke away from them. But Patrick still continues to record and play, and Buttons, who plays trombone, still records to this day. They're still hardworking, touring musicians, and they do a lot of good work on the circuit. So I just want to big them both up. And Tricks, not really a gamer. He's not a gamer, it's just music. Music. He's like a nomad when it comes to music, because he will go where the music takes him. You know, if it's France, Italy, Germany, Los Angeles, Nevada, he's there, mate. He is there at a drop of a hat. Seriously. So I just want to big him up and thank him for working on the album with me. Now, 'tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, motherfuckers. Yeah, this is truly the season of gaming, and as the holiday season approaches, you're going to be inundated with your family, your in-laws, your outlaws, whatever. And usually when it comes to the festive season, it's a time for the families to get together and, you know, to reflect and reminisce, I guess, and to have fun in each other's company, because with all the other times that you spend working to pay the bills, you know, time is at a premium. But, you know, with the festive season, Christmas, holidays, whatever you want to call it, it's a perfect time for families to get together. And out of those families, there's a pretty hefty percentage that has no inclination, no leaning towards gaming whatsoever. So what I'm gonna do with this video, I'm actually gonna suggest the best gaming party games to play for the non-gamer in your life, whether it be your family, your friends, or your loved ones, your significant other, what have you. I'm gonna suggest the best gaming party games for you to play this holiday season. And first of all, I want to start off with not a game, but a piece of hardware, and it's the PSVR. Now, although the PSVR is a solitary experience, it serves best when you share it, when you share that experience, because a lot of people seem to say, oh, it's a gimmick, I think it's a gimmick, and I think it's that, and I think it's this. It's very difficult to translate when you haven't worn one, you haven't experienced it. It's very difficult to translate that in a visual sense by what I'm saying. Even when you look at it on a 2D screen, it's very difficult, you know. So what better way than to go to a friend's, or if you have a relative that has one, to try one and see what you think of that experience. Now, depending on your stomach contents and the state of your underwear, you might play a game that might make you sick, or it might frighten the living bejesus out of you. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, as it were, because it's standard procedure that you're going to get some kind of motion sickness, and it's going to be a given that you're going to be frightened out of your very socks. So that's not a bad thing. I consider that a good thing because it adds to the experience of PSVR. Now, having said that, different types of games that are available in the marketplace, but these are the games that I strongly recommend. And first up, without question, hesitation, or deviation, it's got to be Werewolves Within. By far the best party game to play on the PSVR. If you want to know what it's about, just check out my video on it, how I rate it as the PSVR Game of the Year 2016 and why. Just check that video out. Next up, Carnival Games, which is basically set in a fairground where you have different attractions where you can go in and try out different things, like the hoop shoot, darts games, all kinds of games that has a carnival fairground atmosphere. And I think that game is a good party game to play with the family as well. And also PSVR Worlds, which is more or less the launch demo disc for a lot of PlayStation VR games that are out there right now. So, you know, if you are hesitant about the games you want to get and you want to spend wisely, PlayStation Worlds is the game to get. What else? Oh, Sports Bar VR. Sports Bar VR is a good party game as well. Not only for your local setting where you can actually just, you know, interchange the headset with different people that are playing the games, but you can have a good online experience as well. And also a demo that I strongly recommend if you want to get some fun frightening the bejesus out of people: Resident Evil Kitchen demo. Now there's going to be some people in your family that's going to refuse point blank to play that game, but for those who are willing and daring, I strongly recommend the kitchen demo, and I strongly recommend the Resident Evil 7 demo as well to try out. Okay, now moving away from the PSVR situation, because I know some people don't know people with PSVRs, or they don't intend getting one, or whatever permutation of not being able to use one that exists are. So I'm going to move on to the games that you can play on your console, on your PlayStation 4 or your PlayStation 4 Pro. And the first one is Act It Out, which is a game of charades. Now, the game of charades has been around for donkey's years, you know what I mean? And it has been played every holiday season with families and friends. But the thing is, with this version, it is a digital version, so it dispenses the use of a mobile phone and reams and reams and reams of paper. You know, it's a game of charades. You know what the game of charades involves? Basically miming out phrases, films, books, TV programs, all of that stuff. So you know at the end of the day what that is about. But what this game does, it cuts out all the unnecessary peripherals that you're going to have to need to have with you and have it to hand and all of that bollocks. So I strongly recommend that if you want to have a quick, easy game of charades without having to get out stuff and start and stop stuff and what have you. The stopwatch, the answers are all there in the game, and it's pretty affordable as well. Next up is Monopoly Family Pack. I mean, what can I say about Monopoly? You know, the game's been around for donkey's years, was made by Waddingtons but now owned by Hasbro. Now, having said that, Hasbro has got two versions of the Family Fun Pack, one of which contains Scrabble and one which doesn't. Now, I made a decision to buy an import version of the Hasbro Family Fun Pack simply because A, I love the game of Scrabble, and B, I could not get that game in the UK PS Store for love or money. I was kind of umming and ahhing about it simply because, well, if I do play Scrabble online, what's to say that the other person on the other end is not cheating? They could be cheating, do you know what I mean? But I could have a good experience playing on my PS4 with my nearest and dearest, and don't have to get the boards out and don't have to worry about losing any tiles and all of that shit. You know what I mean? It's all there. It will still be there when you power it up and play it. So Scrabble as a singular game, you can get it from eBay. If your friend's got an American account or Canadian account, they can hook one up for you. That's all I'm saying. But I bought the Hasbro Family Fun Pack that contains Monopoly and also Scrabble, alongside two games that I'm going to feature in a minute. And I decided to buy that because, like I said, I'm a Scrabble fan. So I went the extra mile for that one. Also, there is Trivial Pursuits Live, which is also featured within the Hasbro Family Fun Pack. So you have the option of buying that as a single game or buying all those other games that I've mentioned: Scrabble, Monopoly Fun Pack, as well as this game, Trivial Pursuits Live, and also another game called Risk, which when I first saw it, I didn't really think much of it, but when I actually started playing it, it was a fun game to play because it's a turn-based kind of game, and those kind of games I'm not really into. But having said that, I quite enjoyed it. I have to say I quite enjoyed it immensely. So you can check that out. And what other game did I miss? There's other variations of the Hasbro Family Fun Pack. There's one with Battleship and I forgot what the other game is. But you know what I'm trying to get across, right? You can either buy your favorite games separately or you can buy them as part of the Fun Pack, which will cost in between £25 and £30. And I think that's good value for 4 games, especially if the 4 games that are on it are games that you enjoy playing. Do you know what I mean? So it's like £7.50 a game, which is good value for money. And last but not least, I'm a very avid chess player, but I've not been able to find a lot of chess players online. But I do like playing pure chess when I get the chance. Some gamers deem it to be too highbrow for them, but I don't. You know, it's a very good game to play. I learned to play chess when I was in secondary school, and one famous person who I've actually played chess with was Lennox Lewis. Played chess with Lennox Lewis, man. Yeah, that was my claim to fame. That dude's got some big fucking hands, man. When he makes a move to move the piece on the chessboard, his hands cover the fucking chessboard, man. But anyway, moving away from that, those are the games that I would recommend to you. Now, you can tell me that you disagree. You can tell me what your favorite party games has been or will be for this year, 2016, and what you would or could recommend me and my subscribers and people who are watching all over the world what games to play for the non-gamer in your life. So with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu, farewell for now, and as always, you done know the coup, whatever the game, media, platform, format, genre, happy gaming, because that's what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, brothers and sisters. And until I catch you on the next one, please, gamers, stay blessed. Magan.